Welcome to Formula Offroad, the final episode where we cover the North European Championship. Here in Hønefoss, Norway, 30 cars, well, over 30 cars entered, and we've had some spectacular moments so far. 9 tracks have been driven, 3 left to decide the North European champion. Let's look at the standings after the first 9 tracks. Erik Nilsson leads Guðmundur Eliasson and Snorri Þór Árnason sitting 3rd. Skúli Kristjánsson in 4th, Þór Þormar Pálsson 5th, and Ingvar Jóhannesson in 6th. There was a lunch break after the track 3 on day 2. Like on the Saturday, the 4th track would be a time attack. A quick reminder of the rules: 350 points for the fastest time and minus 1 point for each 1/10 of a second you are slower than the fastest time. 10 penalty points for touching a marker. There's no penalties for reversing, and Erik Nilsson goes first. He lost a lot of points in the time attack yesterday, but seems to be trying to really go for it here. drive here. Well, here we see Snorri retakes second place and now only 20 points behind Erik. In total, Snorri has gained 140 points on Erik Nilsson just in the 2 time attacks. that concludes the time attack. Let's take a look at the standings. Snorri Árnason jumps up to second place, now sitting only 20 points behind leader Erik Nilsson. Guðmundur Eliasson not far away in fourth, and Skúli Kristjánsson still lurking. Þórmar Pálsson sitting in fifth. Now, two more tracks. These tracks will be traditional Formula Offroad tracks, and they will decide who is the North European champion. Essentially the world champion of Formula Offroad. Ingvar Jóhannesson goes first, and as we've seen in all the tracks so far, you do not want to go first. So scoring big points in the tracks where you start early becomes pretty important. Here's the same final climb as the final track on Saturday, but a lot tougher this time. Yesterday we saw the cars going far to the left there, and Ingvar Jóhannesson makes it all the way, 350 for length, 10 penalty points. Makes simple work of this track. Now Ingólfur Guðrason. Ingólfur jumped in the car on day 2 after Guðbjörn Grímsson reportedly broke a rib in a crash on day 1. And Ingólfur, as he's not entered, essentially, this is all for show, not competing. But that's a roll, which seems to happen every time this car gets turned on. Now, Snorri Árnason needs a good run here. He's sitting in second, 20 points behind Erik Nilsson. Guðmundur Eliasson then sitting a further 19 points behind Snorri. We've seen a few cars go up already. Final gate, that's a mistake! That's the choir boy on his side! And that is disaster for Snorri. Needed all the points he could get here. Took a huge chunk out of Erik Nilsson's lead in the time attack, but this is the opportunity for Erik Nilsson to extend that again. Here we have Þórmar, he was sitting 5th before this track. And Þórmar already had a big roll. He could smell a chance after Snorri's mistake, but does similar 240 for Þór. Now Thomas Lovskogen. Oh, not a good place to stop. Is he sitting on his belly? Nope, gets going again. Goes all the way. Easy does it. Seems to be the right way for the final gate. 350 for length, 20 penalty points. Now Skúli Kristjánsson. Similar way, Skúli Kristjánsson flies through the gate. That's without any penalty points. So 350, a full house. That is, well, Skúli Kristjánsson overtaking Snorri at least. Now let's see what Úlfshaldur does. Has been doing some decent runs here on day 2, but won't go any further. 240 for length, 10 penalty points for Ugly Betty, 230 total. Now Jörgen Herland. After day 1, 9 out of the 10 top drivers were Icelandic. Jörgen Herland, one of the Norwegian drivers in this event. Goes all the way, nicely done there, 350 for length, 10 penalty points, 340 points for the cliffhanger. Now Simon Blom. .350 for length and 20 penalty points, 330 total. Now Andremar Svensson. $350 points for length, 10 penalty points for the Cowboy. Andremar doing a really good job here on day number 2. Daniel Ingemundsson also been well, having a pretty good day here on day number 2. 350 points, no penalty points for the Green Thunder. And look at this, Tobias Hakansson. That's just normal Jeep tires there on the back. Because of a puncture, he needed to switch tires and didn't have a spare. And won't go any further with those shoes, unfortunately. 220 points. Now, the leader, he can extend his lead quite well here. Snorri missed, wasn't it 120 points? Or was it 110? He scored 240 points, Snorri Þórðarson, so Erik Nilsson, he can put 110 points more between him and Snorri if he goes all the way here. And he seems to be going pretty far. This is where Snorri made the mistake. What does Erik do here? Goes all the way, 10 penalty points there in the final gate, so that's 340 points for Erik Nilsson. And Erik in really, really good shape here before the final track of the day. Now Gerrit Grimsson. So far no penalty points for the final gate. Oh, Sledgehammer goes for a roll. That's only going to be 250 points for Geir Evert. Now, Páll Skjöldal, so far today, he scored a full house in every course. 1,050 points on the day. Can he take it to 1,400 here? Yes, he does. 4 tracks, always full points, except, of course, the time attack. Guðmundur Eliasson, this is big. That must be some sort of a failure. The rear wheels just weren't spinning as they should. And that means that's disaster for Guðmundur, who was sitting comfortably in second before this one. Erik Nilsson now leading with Skúli Kristjánsson up to second. Snorri Þórðarson third. Guðmundur Eliasson fourth. Ingvar Jóhannesson fifth. And Þormar Pálsson down in 6th. And it's disaster for Snorri, who needs to go first in the final course of the day. So far, starting first has been costly, but we've seen a few drivers do it well. Now Snorri with pretty much nothing to lose here. He was sitting in second before the, well, a track ago, lost it in the penultimate track. And now the final track of the day. What can the choir boy do here? 4-time Icelandic champion. For some reason, Snorri is not penalized for that reverse, probably because he just let the car roll. And here, Snorri through the towards the final gates. This is doable here early. Now going for it, will he make it all the way? And that is 350 points without penalty for Snorri Þór, and this is pressure towards Erik, Skúli and the rest. Skúli was up to second before this track. So far so good for Simpa. Oh, gets thrown up there, not in a nice way. Tries again, 40 penalty points for reversing, but he's just not getting any speed here. No traction for Simpa, he won't make it. And that is Simpa stuck. And that is one pissed off Skúli Kristjánsson, because this means that Snorri Þór has jumped him. Now, the cowboy, Andremar Svensson. All the way there, and that's a fantastic result for the rookie. Second place on day 2, a podium on day 2, and finished every single track with 350 points for length. Now, Ingvar Jonasdottir driving the Viking. He was in contention for the win earlier, but a couple of bad tracks really took him out of it. What will he do here in the final course of the day? That is Ingvar going all the way, 350 points for length, and that means that he jumps up to second, ahead of Skúli. Remember, we still have Erik Nilsson to run. Snorri Þór Árnason, number 1 at the moment. And here is Páll Skjóldal, and that is all the way, and that means that he does 350 points in every track of the day, apart from the time attack. What a drive, and look at Páll Skjóldal. He knows what he's done, and he loves it. A perfect score from all the traditional tracks today. But here he is, Erik Nilsson, the man that was leading. He only needs 240 points to win this race. So far, so good for Eva Stina, who decides to go pretty far down here. That is a roll! And that roll is coming at the 190-point marker. This means that Erik Nilsson has just thrown away victory in the North European Championship. And somehow, Snorri Þór Árnason, after all that has been going on, manages to clinch the win in Hønefoss. Let's take a look at the final standings. Snorri Þór Árnason wins with Erik Nilsson in second, and Ingvar Jóhannesson, he managed to push his way up to third. What a race in Norway. Well, next time around we will be in Egilsstaðir for the next round of the Icelandic Formula Offroad Championship. Always a spectacular event, and we look forward to seeing you there.